It's the Marvelous Monday. You're in the back room with Becky, and yeah, I'm in my pajamas. I'll probably work in them most of the day because I don't have to go anywhere. But I had to get on right away because the housewives were off the chain last night. Now, one of my viewers last week commented, but she commented and said that Peter was messy. Now, my issue with that is Peter is not messy. Here's the thing. A little background information. Peter's an entrepreneur, okay? People get confused when they hear the word entrepreneur and they think that means everybody is like Russell Simmons or somebody. No. Every entrepreneur starts out scrapping just like a regular person. And if they're lucky enough, they become like Donald Trump and Russell Simmons and their money gets right. But it takes a while. Now, when Cynthia married him, he was going through some financial hardships. That's not any reason to call him messy. A lot of y'all are with men that's not financially on the same level as you. That's just the way of the time. Now, she knew what she was getting into, but I think, again, she had some unrealistic values and expectations about what married life was. And I think that people that don't struggle together usually don't stay together too long either. Because whenever you go in to a situation and one person has more money than the other, it's almost like it's unequal. And, okay, people say, oh, they were unequally yoked. I've heard that about family members of mine. And it still works out. And here's why. The yin and the yang are not the very same. They are the total opposite of each other. When couples get together, it is not about how much is in somebody's bank account, what kind of car they're driving. It is about pure chemical and raw emotions that makes a person attracted to someone in the first place. And how they work all those differences out is the beauty of relationships. Now, so I'm defending Peter Thomas today. It's a marvelous Monday. We talking about miserable mentions. You in the back room with Becky, and yes, I'm in my pajamas. Don't be mad. Here's what the top of the show. They kind of recapped the trip from Africa and how people was acting when they came back. And I am so sick of Kim. You wasn't even on the trip. How did she get to be the central subject in a trip that she didn't even go on? That's Sheree. Okay, Sheree messy. She's still sitting in the top spot for miserable mention. Okay. Now Phaedra, Phaedra's laying back a lot, but she never was like, you know, a gossiping shit starter. She was just like eccentric. Kim and this old plantation mentality, y'all can say what you want to say. That girl is tired of being there with Kim. I never heard somebody talk about they don't have no help. You got 3 or 4 other adults in your house. Come to my house on the weekend. I will show you what it's like to not have any help with you. I have help Monday through Saturday. And if it's an emergency on a Sunday. But any woman that can't take care of her house for a few hours, you want somebody to come in behind you like it's slavery time cleaning up. You ain't doing nothing. Getting your hair curled. Talking about what you gonna do. And hold the baby for a little while. And if you wasn't breastfeeding him, you probably wouldn't be holding him none. Walk around with that cup in your hand while they cleaning out the basement. See, this is where she said there's no boundaries between her and Sweetie's relationship. And I think that is why they're in trouble. And I have, you know, household help too. And we are very close, like family. But what Miss Tiny does not do is she does not disrespect me. She does not, you know, talk about things that she shouldn't talk about. She's totally loyal. Now, Sweetie's loyal too. But Sweetie, I got tired of you every minute. Sweetie! We have a running joke going when I'm coming downstairs in the morning. Tiny! 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 Turn it!
Hi, Marlo.
Okay, see? That's what Sweetie said last year. And I believe her. This year, Sweetie looked like she done put on a little weight. She got out them micro braids. She did like Miss Ben. She got her some young girl swag. She been with Kim 12 years. When I was a professional nanny, the first thing that they told me when we were getting licensed as professional nannies was 5 years is usually the limit. Anything past that becomes very complicated to hold together. To keep those lines of professionalism and not be taken advantage of, or either take your employers for granted. Because I was young, the family that I worked for were millionaires. They was just so cool. They was in their 40s just having babies. They didn't know nothing about babies. I knew everything about babies. So they depended on me a lot. But what the thing was, is I was dating. I wasn't dating when I first got with them. I was getting out of a relationship. Sweetie has built her life. Sweetie has built her life around these people. And I think I did that too because I was a live-in nanny. And then when I was like, oh, nobody can work all of the time. When does Sweetie have time for her own personal life? And which I'm sure she was with Kim all those years. The housewife's been on maybe 3 or 4 years. She didn't have any idea what this was all going to entail. It challenged their relationship, and it's challenging now. Now, everybody's in Kim's ear telling her, oh, well, maybe she's just not happy. Or, I would have fired her a long time ago. Oh, Kim, get you some business. Take Sweetie out to lunch or dinner and sit down and have a conversation with her. And it may be just time to sever the business relationship and let Sweetie go on and find something else to do. She's a young woman. She needs to go out there and explore what other opportunities there are. The other thing, never fails phone. I always bring it when I get on to do a show. Now, the anniversary party, I thought that was really sweet. Because considering that Cynthia forgot you the whole 10 days she was on her vacation and didn't bring you back, she brought him back a key ring. You went to Africa, you brought your daughter this big doll, you brought your husband a key ring. So the anniversary party is being set up and they're discussing budget. And he made the comment, now we're not talking about people that only got $200 in their bank account until payday. We're talking about people that's rolling money in on a regular basis. They have their investments and they have the show that they are paid for. They're not doing that for free. $1,000 extra on the event and you want to have a cow. I was like, shut up. Do you know how many women would love to have a husband like Peter? Now, everybody got their own point of view, and I'm sure you're going to tell me yours, but that my miserable mention, Mallory. Here we go again. She can't go 5 minutes without getting on the let's toast Peter. Roast him, toast him, whatever. Every comment out of her mouth was negative. And then when Peter said he didn't want her in the limo, I know some of y'all thought, that's tacky, that's just I don't care. Sometimes family will tear your relationships up. You can't, And then before they could get through, they sitting there doing their little sister girl thing. See, I would have smacked her in the back of the head and knocked some of that weave loose. When she said, yep, he's pretty much an asshole. And you just keep taking up for him. Do people not understand the concept of marriage? And forsaking our others and cleave unto him. Okay, I'm just saying, My mom and them couldn't say nothing about my little raggedy husband when I had him. Anybody that had something bad to say about him was like they was talking about me. When you are married, that's your family. And anybody out there that's saying otherwise, y'all don't want that woman to be happy. That's haterism. So Mal, she gets to showing out, and he's still hearing her, giving her little side comments. So when it's time to do the toast, I'm going to skip all over that limo fiasco, because I do think that was a little bit of bad karma. Because you could have rolled to the party with her and just ignored that bitch. That's what I would have did. Let her get in the limo and just ignore her. And so to create conflict, they worked it out where the limo didn't even show up. So anyway, they're at the party. They're doing the toast. Not to mention Marlo done got busted out by Sheree, just not yet again. But they're at the party, and she's not even going to come down until her mother and her sister get there. Oh, she's loyal. She loves her family. But you have to make a choice. And I hate that. If your family is, if your husband, that's who you love, I feel like this. We have family members, and we don't necessarily always agree about choices in relationships, choices in jobs, or choices in friends. But you're supposed to love that person more than you dislike that other person. So when you are talking about your sister's husband, you'd have crossed the line for I'm concerned. So when it came time for the toast, and he was calling Cynthia's mother out, he was like, Barbara, everybody, except Mel. And they were trying to correct her and said, don't do that. And Mel. And so Mel got her feelings hurt. How about he got his feelings hurt when they were doing the Bailey agency opening and you sitting over there jaw-jacking about what he did or did not do? I don't think that was necessary. Mel got too much time on her hand. Where your husband at? He probably over in Europe screwing all the top models. Because you're so busy in your family business that you don't have a family of your own. Go have a baby. Go back to school, get a job, get a hobby. Don't work for your sister. It might save your relationship. But I don't think Peter was messy for making a little crack because she been making cracks the whole time. When have she ever eased up on that brother? Not a once. And then I think she had too much to drink because she just sweated out them curls and she's getting sister girl and her head is rocking. And Cynthia finally got some stones and said, stop it. Stop being disrespectful, Mal. You stop being disrespectful. Her just said, well, maybe you need to leave. Because if you really don't support my marriage and this is our first anniversary, maybe you don't need to be here. And Kite. Now, maybe you call yourself being a peacemaker. But I want you to go here and find you a mate, too. You go find your boyfriend, Kite. Because you up in Cynthia's business too much, too. You said something that I thought was tacky as Cynthia's friend. I know Mal is your friend, but Mal is your friend by virtue of the fact that you're friends with Cynthia. I would never say to my sister, okay, well, let them be miserable. No, what you said, the most important thing was, you need to let it go, Mal. They married now. They've been married a year. Let it go. So I said my miserable mentions out top, and then I'm going back to a return miserable. Mal and Kite. Kite is the stylist friend from New York, and he just got on my nerve. He got on my last nerve. He was on my nerves when he was fat. Now he done got skinny. He really on my nerves. So I wish they would find him a boyfriend. So Sheree is driving to the event, and she's in the car with Lawrence. And I've already been giving a little background. Lawrence done hair, and he had been doing hair for Marlo. You know. See that? If you bring a bone, you'll carry one. And Sheree, shitty, you'll add it again. You will be the little girl in school that everybody be whooping your ass every day. And I know you didn't grow up in the hood because that snitching stuff, we don't do that. I mean, yeah, there's times when we need to just forget about that principle and say, okay, look, somebody did something really, really bad. We need to tell that. But that talking about each other stuff, you need to stop repeating everything you hear. Because I'm going to tell you something. A person who can run back to share information that was said when that person wasn't there is not a person that can be trusted. Because guess what? They will turn around and do you the same way. My big mama said it. If they'll bring a bone, they'll carry one. So she goes up into the party now. And Lawrence, you know, you really don't want no queen to be mad at you. Because they might dress like women, but they still men. I don't think he would be disrespectful and put his hands on Marlo because he know Marlo got a record and she would go there with him. But she was real classy. I never said that. Because if you ask Sheree on some stuff she said, she'll be like, I don't remember that. When did I say that, bud? So they started that old proper talking crazy. How old are you, Sheree? That you gotta go running back telling, keeping shit going. You's a shit starter. So, you know, you miserable mention. Phaedra played low-key. She didn't even come to the party. She When did her little, she wants to be, I don't know how that's going to work out. But I ain't mad at you, Phaedra, for always being about your game. She wants to keep her money game up, so she's like this. My lawyer reputation's kind of fierce. I might better have me a transition job. My mama always said, be able to do more than one thing. So, having said that, I'm going to do my other work that I have to do. But you're in the back room, Becky. It is a marvelous Monday. Who gets miserable mention? I'm for the top. On top, Mallory, Cynthia Bailey's sister, is a piece of work. Second place, Sheree again. And really, Sheree, you should be running in first place, but I draw the line when it comes to starting family feuds. And that's what Mal is doing. She's starting a family feud that should have died out last year after you stole the people's wedding certificate so they couldn't even get married, and they sitting around waiting. You and the mama talking about, should I give it back? So you miserable, and you want everybody to be miserable with you. Kite, you running the tie with second place with Sheree, Miss Shitty, talk about everybody's business, can't even get your house built. And you fixed to get something blown out the water in your face next week. I don't see Sheree as being relevant anymore. She's just a mean, hateful, spiteful chick. Candy, that dress was too short for that occasion. You look like you just came off the strip. Now, I know that there's such thing as, we're being sexy, but, when you can bend over and I can see your middle name, that's just too much. Okay? So, all of y'all, top of the list, miserable mention, Mal, second place, Kite, third place, Sheree, only because it didn't go any bigger than you thought it was. Now, he might not want to do Marlo's hair no more. Does Marlo look like her hair wasn't done? Does she look like she worried? And what happened to your song, Lawrence? I thought you were going to be the next big thing anyway. Always remember, be careful what you're saying in front of people, because the cameras is rolling. And that reunion show where you say you didn't say that about him, you did call that boy the F word. And that's not the city to do that. So we say to you love and peace. Always understanding. And all that get an understanding. That's what my red said. Have a good day.